Stoicism is a practical philosophy from a long time ago that can help us live happier and more resilient lives. The Stoics incorporated their philosophy into their everyday lives. Marcus Aurelius kept a journal and purposely did not indulge too much in comfort. Seneca, the younger, got into the habit of thinking about what happened during the day after his wife went to sleep each night. Here are some ways we can make a routine at night to help us end each day in a positive way. Reflectionayzevent. One of the clearest descriptions of an ancient Stoic's nightly routine can be found in a letter that Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius. In the letter, called On the Philosopher's Seclusion, Seneca talks about his own way of thinking and how it can help other people. At night, when it becomes quiet and his wife is asleep, Seneca looks back at his whole day and thinks about everything he did and said, not hiding anything from himself or ignoring anything. Seneca recommended that before bed, it's good to spend some time alone and think about what we did, thought, and said during the day. Honestly thinking about how we handled situations, responded to them, and the things we did right or didn't do well. This practice helps you check your morals and behavior. He thought that if we point out our mistakes, we can become more aware of them, learn from them, and find ways to improve in the future. I believe it's essential to explain that the goal of this self-reflection is not to make us feel guilty or punish ourselves, but instead to become more aware of how we behave towards others and work on improving ourselves in the areas where we see a need for growth. One thing we can do is think about what happened today and ask ourselves some questions. You can do this by writing in a journal or just by including it in your meditation. The first step is to find a peaceful spot where you won't be easily disturbed or interrupted. It doesn't need to be a whole separate room. It can just be a quiet area in your house. Think about what happened today, starting from when you woke up in the morning until right now. Think about what you have done, the choices you have made, what you want, how you feel, the talks you have had, and how you have responded to things. Think about what you did. Try to understand why you did it and if it was the right thing to do. Did I do what I believe is right and consistent with my values? Where did I make mistakes or fail? How should I have dealt with things in a different way? Instead of focusing on or being overly hard on yourself for your mistakes, think of them as chances to learn. Think about how you would handle similar situations later on. Make a plan to use what you learned in the next day. Decide to try to be wiser or better in your actions. Reframenegativeents. Reframing is not only used in Stoicism, but also in psychotherapy, the Socratic method, and other practical philosophies and practices that help us develop a more positive way of thinking. In Stoic philosophy, it is believed that each person is in charge of how they understand the world and how they respond to it. How we react to things that happen to us is affected by what we think is true about the world, ourselves, and other people. These ideas are our duty, and to respond better and build things in a positive way, we must get rid of and change negative ideas. For our Stoic practice, a night might involve thinking about any difficult or bad experiences that happened during the day. Consider how we view these difficulties and bad experiences, and if our negative or unrealistic beliefs make them even worse. If we discover a belief or expectation that is not realistic, we should consider a more helpful belief to replace it. If we catch ourselves assuming things about people or things, can we be kinder or give them a chance before judging them? What lessons can we get from this experience? How can we use everything mentioned before to assist us in our development? Here are a few examples of the questions we can ask. The Socratic method is a common technique that helps us change our thoughts and ideas. If you're interested in personal growth, I suggest checking it out. Practivisation. The Stoics had a different way of developing gratitude and coping with the fear of losing things. Instead of holding on tightly to what they had and loved, they would imagine losing the things they cared about, failing at things they wanted to do well, and facing outcomes they wanted to avoid. They were able to accomplish two things by doing this. Seeing the effects of losing something made them appreciate the things they already had. Understanding that something or someone we care about will eventually be gone helps us value and cherish it while we still have it. When we think about not having something, we start to become less scared of not having it. When we feel like we have lost something, we may feel sad and hurt, but in the end, we will be all right. Feeling grief and pain just shows that we really appreciate what we have, making us even more grateful. For our evening Stoic practice, let's think about: how would I feel if someone I love died, if I lost something important to me, or if something bad happened to me? Do I not appreciate these things enough? This is not meant to be dark and depressing, but instead it's a way to understand and be thankful for what you have in your life right now. Preportomorrow. To end our evening practice, we can get ready for tomorrow. We can plan for tomorrow by deciding how we want to approach the day, what good qualities we want to show, and how we can improve on our past behavior. We can have different events in life, like a meeting, a birthday party, an anniversary, or a sports game, where we can act according to our values. We might have a difficult situation coming up that will check our ability to be patient, determined, and honest. The Stoics believed in being ready in our minds to face difficulties and obstacles. In order to do this, we can think about certain questions. What problems might I have tomorrow? How are these problems similar to the problems I've had before, and can I handle them in a new way? How can I politely and wisely interact with them?